the people around you, when you have the community and when you have other children that are going through the same phase, that's where the support is.
If you want your children to adopt something, then you've also got to lead and show them how you do things as well. Hi, this is Jacqui Ashley, and welcome to the Start Young channel, where we are here to really empower and help you parents to raise entrepreneurial kids, confident entrepreneurial kids. And I'm really excited here today because I wanted to invite my friend Irene Chau to share with you some tips to help you raise entrepreneurial kids, but also financial literate children as well. So Irene Chau is a financial advisor and also founder of the Moneywise Angel Community, which she set up. It's about helping to empower people and supporting people to help them to build wealth and personal growth, and also to help kids as well have a great financial mindset. So I'm really excited about this topic because I know when I was a child, I don't think this was something that I actually learned to really later on in life. And in schools, they teach you maths, but they don't teach you how to save. They don't teach you how to invest or anything like that. And when I was children, look, I love my parents and they did the best they can and everything. And I think they were more focused on raising us to study, putting money on food on the table. But it was only through seeing them how they use money, but not learning for ourselves. So I think this is really important today, that we can be able to share with you some of the tips. And I'm really excited. Thank you, Irene, for being here.
It's my pleasure. And you're absolutely right, because I've been looking after clients' investment over the years, and very often I find that even though my clients are doing really well, I mean, I'm the financial advisor for them, but their kids may not necessarily be able to keep the wealth over time, and it's just not part of, I guess, the upbringing, maybe, which would sort of empower them to do this kind of thing. It's kind of sad a little bit if they don't know how to actually maintain the wealth or even know how to build the wealth over time. So it sort of triggers me to something together so that for parents that are interested in raising their kids, kind of giving them the information while they're growing up so they're more financially literate, that as a base for them to grow over the years to be able to take on their wealth from their parents. So I think it's good to do a early start for the kids. And very often that could even start at as early as age 5, when they know and understand a little bit more about money, and to build those entrepreneurial mindset. And every little child is different, and we treasure their uniqueness. But some children, they might be better at arts, and other they might be better at sports. And school kind of favors English and maths, but there's very little financial sort of education which they offer to children. So that's where the core is with this course.
You've got a daughter, right, who's now in her teens. Oh, hold on, in her teens, correct? Yeah. When did you start teaching her? I would love to hear, how would you start actually even to teach your children if you were to start? Like, what would be something that you could teach them or to do?
I mean, the beginning is really to build on their values, because what money can buy and what money cannot buy, they need to know what's important to them in life. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything even with build our wealth and you're not getting your happiness. So value is the number one most important thing. And very often, we spend time with our kids, but it's never really quality time that we're talking about these things. So the simple thing is really as simple as taking them on a trip and just explaining to them how things work. If you're going into a shopping centre and the shopping centre supermarket pays rent to the landlord, and you just talk about stories. You start with stories, little things like that, and getting them progressively to organise their own birthday parties, which is part of budgeting, and getting them to be set up for saving money for themselves, not only for themselves, but a bit for giving back to the society, which generates the happiness within themselves. So that's all part of it, but it all starts with values. Yeah.
That's really, really good. So teaching them through activities and taking them out and explaining as you go out with them and shopping, etc. I think that's really, really good. Here's this one thing that actually I think we talk about this a lot with my friends, but we all have different answers, is that pocket money. Do you give your children pocket money, or do you, like, say, make them earn for it? And if you do give them pocket money, like how much? Like, what's your thought around this?
There's not really a right and a wrong answer, but I think part of it is to incorporate what happens around the world. Let's say we want them to be more entrepreneurial. We could potentially, if they're doing a particular task for us, not the day-to-day chores, because we don't really want them to be doing the chores and earning money from the chores. That should be part of what they're doing every day. But, it could be specific tasks, and they could then learn to issue invoices and things like that to us, and then we can pay them and explain to them there's a taxation process involved. When you do work, you get taxed. So those little things can all come into it. In terms of pocket money, I tend to just give my daughter minimal, and then if there's something that, let's say, she wants to prepare, whether it's a present or whether it's something special for her friend, I tend to give her more so she could budget out of that, so she could use her budgeting for the future if she needs other things. So, and then I like to give larger lump sums during the year so she could have that and utilize that, whether she want to save it, put it at the bank, or invest. She could then utilize that lump sum to be able to do something special.
So when did you start giving your daughter pocket money?
Would be around age 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would you be giving her every week? Is that something that you would advise, like maybe start off with something every week, and then grow from there? Like if you want more, then you can do this job, etc., like you're saying.
Yeah, I try to avoid not to give her a weekly allowance, but to more so just be giving her more lump sums to plan over time. I tend to do that more. I think it's just give her a bit more control, and she could then have confidence on how to spend as well. So, for example, if we go on holiday, then she wants something, I would give her a budget, and then she could then buy something that she likes out of the budget. If she gets this, she won't be able to get that. And then there's the sense to be able to have priorities in life.
That's great. That's an activity that I can kind of start to kind of help for parents to start to help them to start saving investment. What would you suggest? Because I normally tell them, right, keep a pile for this and that and something for yourself and save, and then put something for charity. Is there something that you suggest that the kids can start doing right now in terms of investing and saving? And
absolutely. So, I could start with just simple things at home. If you have glass jars, and I would label them as save and give. So also invest. So you can, as you give them money, they could decide on, where to put the money in which jars. And over time, they'll know. For example, if you give them $10, they could be giving $1 to the gifting box, so they could give to others in charity, but they could be spending maybe $4 and the rest going into the saving jar. But yeah, they will develop a pattern over time, and you can ask them question, why are you doing this? Because is this enough, or why is this pattern going on? So you can observe, and then also every little child's personality is different as well. So you can guide and gauge over time, but eventually, the savings jar can pile up, and parents parents, I'm sure you can open bank accounts for them. And then the next step would be you could open a stockbroking account for them to invest. But it's all about the process and getting used to what we do ourselves as day to day, because at the end of the day, I mean, we don't really look at it like this, but at school, they have their own report card, whether they score they get for English, maths, or science. But if we look at it ourselves, I mean, our report card or our scorecard is our asset and liability spreadsheet, which sort of summarizes our life. But this little thing all counts when we speak to them, and it's all about the guidance. And the Moneywise Angel course and program does exactly that, because we develop spreadsheets and we talk about, what are good assets, bad assets, maybe, if you want to classify it that way, but they may just not be the necessities, and what are good liabilities and bad loans. So those things are all part of the course itself, because they're all important values which we need to start implanting into our children earlier on in life. And the earlier on they have those skills, the better, because school doesn't really teach that. And very often our wealth is built from just the work we do at home. It's never built at while we're working or while we're studying. It's what we do at home. So the home piece, if you think about it, is a lot more important over time as you do little steps, and they all build up. And that's how we get to retire over time, because the home piece, the wealth you build, eventually replaces our income. And that's how we retire. So if we pass on that knowledge to our kids at an early age, that's very beneficial. Whatever they do in life, it will be able to support them in the future.
Yeah, that's so true. I always take on the idea that, lead by example. If you want your children to adopt something, then you've also got to lead and show them how you do things as well, like as a parent as well, when you go shopping, on how you save money, etc., how you use money, and so that they can see as well, because they copy and they see everything. At an early age, they absorb everything. So, and they see that and they take on that. So making sure that we do lead by example. But I'm really excited because you've got this, you mentioned your online program. So it's an online program for children. And what age is the online program suitable for?
I would suggest from age 6 to 12 at this stage. This is the initial phase of the program. And as they progress, there is a next phase. But the initial phase is really to inbuild the values, and also it could be a very dry topic as well, finance. So we don't really want to just give them the definitions and things like that. We really want to look at their response and their interests, and from what they're interested in, focus on getting that value from their interest and explaining and guiding through that, because every child is different, and we want to make sure that we are building up on what they like to learn as well, because there could be different focus.
That sounds really perfect. So parents, if you're looking to help your children, to educate them, empower them, learn more about financial literacy, then definitely lead by example and learn more how you could implement that in your own life as well. And I think it's about being fun and playing games with your children, so they don't think that, the money thing is really boring, making money.
Exactly. We don't want that. And in the process itself, I mean, parents can learn about investing at the same time, because with technology, everything can be done very easily. So parents can have fun with their children and explain the process to them at the same time as they're investing. And the other piece is also the entrepreneurial piece as well, because part of it is really, are they interested in business? Would they like to do business? And how does business work? And creating a business, and all starts with what? I mean, it could be starting with the branding itself and, the focus. So those are the things that the course look at as well. And it's all part of the integration altogether.
Excellent. Thank you so much today for sharing this with Irene. And we'll put details below so you can have a look. And if you have any questions about the course, you can contact Irene Chau as well. So thank you.
So, not only about the course, the community, I think, because, it's just not something that I'm teaching myself, but the people around you, when you have the community and when you have other children that are going through the same phase, that's where the support is, because with the online chat, you're able to contact other parents and to also provide that support and sharing of what are some of the challenges and also the phases they're going through. So there's a lot of sharing piece and a lot of ideas which you could sort of cross-check with each other, whether you're doing the right thing, if you on this step, is that going to be all right for next week's course, and so on. So I think it's great to have that community together.
Right. Yeah, because it is the environment. The environment makes a difference, and also in how you achieve results as well. And having that community to support each other is going to allow you to achieve your goals, financial goals, entrepreneurial goals as well, more easily as well. Thank you. And if you like this video today, please click the like button and make sure you do subscribe to our channel. And there'll be also the many other videos that's going to help share some tips and help guide you to raising entrepreneurial children.